looking good. Alright folks, it's Andy here from Russ and the Woodsman, and thanks for joining me on another one. So I'm back at my little day camp spot. I've got a couple of projects that I want to be getting on with while I'm here. I've got the tarp up again. It's not raining at the minute, but it is supposed to be like showers throughout the day, so I thought I'd get it up as soon as I get here just in case. But it's really muggy and sticky. The bugs are, you know, out on mass at the minute. But yeah, like I said, I was at my little day camp spot that I like coming to, usually practice bushcraft skills here or film videos and whatnot. But I've been cutting a few pieces of wood to make a tripod, and what I'm going to do is use it as like a back grip. I think a buzzard has just dropped and grabbed some sort of bird. It's got a... Let's see if I can film that. Nah. Oh, yeah. Never mind. The buzzard there right in a tree looking at me. I don't know what he had. He had something. He don't look very happy though. Now he's going to go. Is he going to fly? I do like buzzards. I think they're really cool. I don't think he wants to fly off because he'll get tangled up in them branches, and I think he's worried about Rusty. I think I'm going to go away and leave him. Yeah. I love coming to the woods. You never know what you're going to find out, what you're going to see here. Bird murder. So yeah, that was quite cool. But yeah, so projects. I can't remember if I said them or not. I'll say them again. So I'm going to make a tripod out of these 3 pieces of wood to basically make a chair back so I can lean back against it. I'll still incorporate my normal, you know, seating pad, so I'll sit down on that on the ground and I'll be able to lean back. And then also this tripod. I made this on Boxing Day, but it was green wood at the time, and obviously it's sort of shrunk down and whatnot, and the lashings on it will come a bit loose, so I'm going to retie those as well. But the bigger news, more exciting news, is the company Breezer. They supply like knife making material and various bits and pieces that go along with that side of things. But what they also do is they have a little sort of department called Enzo. You've probably heard of it: Enzo knives, Enzo trappers, Enzo Borka. I've talked about a lot. I've used them for years. I bought my first Enzo trapper 2013, I think it was, the 01 tool steel version with the green micarta handles. I then sort of bought the same knife but with the N690 cobalt steel. I've recently sold both of those knives, and then with the money I've purchased the one that got away, so to speak. It's the Trapper 95, the 01 tool steel, but with the curly birch handles. I don't have it with me today, but the company Breezer, what they did was they sent me this out, and this is their take on the Nessmuk knife. I'll do a close-up of it and I'll talk about some of the features and that. But yeah, they sent it out to me to basically use on my channel, and which I will do over the next few weeks, and basically yeah, just use it doing the normal stuff that I use knives for out in the woods, and then I'll do a review after a couple of weeks of use of it. But yeah, I thought it was really cool that they sent this out to me. I mean, most of us who are into this outdoor stuff, we've heard of Nessmuk, and you've probably read his book, Woodcraft, and this is one of his, one of the trio it's called. He has a double bit hatchet, double-headed hatchet if you like, for the sort of heavy woodwork prep type of stuff, or firewood and whatnot. He has this knife, which is mainly designed around food prep and hunting, you know, butchering game that he catches and whatnot. And then he has a small sort of folding knife that he uses for any like finer carving type stuff that he needs to be getting on with. So yeah, expect to see this feature in a few of my next upcoming videos, and also it'll feature a lot on my Instagram feed if you follow me on Instagram. Yeah, we'll have a close look at it. So we'll talk about the sheath first. So, you know, the Enzo sheaths are always solid. You know, you use the 3mm thick leather. The stitching, the thread that you use is probably about 1.1mm. The rivet at the top, and they double stitch it there as well. And then down here you've got a little lanyard hole. You can put a piece of paracord through it if you want and tie it to your leg. On the back you've got your standard belt loop, and then you've got your belt dangle system. I've put a little loop of paracord here because I've made my own sort of little belt loop danglers that I'm testing at the minute, and I'm just using this piece of paracord to tie it onto. So the blade itself, the length of the actual blade is 125mm long. The blade width is 26 to 35mm long, depending on which part you're talking about, like this width or this width here. The steel is 3.5mm thick, and the total length is 235mm. The steel is made from carbon steel 80CR V2, and it's a spring steel. It has a high Scandi grind, and this one here has the curly birch handles with the red liners. You can also get it with black micarta or green micarta. So yeah, the Scandi grind is a high Scandi grind, and they said on the website that they've given priority to sort of slicing over chopping. And I will say again, they have stated on the website, if you do want to chop with this, then put a secondary bevel on it. I mean, I can see people would want to chop with it. I want to chop with it. It looks like it would be like a nice little mini chopper. You know, it's kind of got that sort of like go-luck, you know, machete type shape to it. But there isn't a great deal of weight in it, in all honesty. And also with chopping, you're going to want, you know, in the handle some sort of lanyard hole, and this doesn't have a lanyard hole. You know, it's put a piece of cordage in it, and you can put your hand through the cordage, and that way, you know, as you're chopping, it won't accidentally slip out and, you know, fling through the woods, and potentially if you're out with a friend, catch them in the leg with it or something. So yeah, so I won't be doing any chopping work with it, because that's not what it's designed for. What I will do is normal sort of wood tasks with it, feather sticking, processing wood, batting in, and then also food prep. I won't be doing any food prep today with it, but because I don't have any. But my next video, I'll be making a meal out in the woods, so some of the veg will need chopped up, and I'll use this for it. So I'm just going to lash these two pieces together using jute twine. It's my go-to cordage for when I'm doing, you know, little projects out in the woods. So for argument's sake, if I didn't get to come back here, you know, I'll just, you know, degrade with the rest of the wood around here. Well, first cut. Oh. Cuts jute twine nicely. I never doubted it. Never doubted it, did we, Rust? You should really frap this, and I will do, but I'll probably do it with a separate piece of cordage because that bit blatantly wasn't long enough. Wraps and fraps, so you wrap it around the wood a couple of times, and then you wrap it between the pieces of wood. But I'll show it with a different bit because I never cut that bit long enough. So we've got our extended piece. So I'm going to wrap it round a couple more times. Bear in mind to pull it tight each wrap you do. And the next bit, rather than wrapping it round the wood, is going to be wrapped between the pieces of wood. It's a bit fiddly, but you may have to move the pieces of wood to get it through. Remember to ratchet it down. And then we'll wrap round the main bit again. And just tie it off with this little tag end. Just doing a couple of overhand knots, you don't need to do any fancy knots here. And that is it, wraps and fraps. So I readjusted the lashing position. Where I had it, it was really high up, so when you had the crossover and the V in the top, it was quite a small space for this one to sit into, and this one's quite thick, it's probably about 1.5 inches, and it just wasn't very stable. So yeah, I cut it off using a Nessmuk knife. And replaced it, that way give me a bigger V to set this back section into. So that's basically it. So I'm going to try and find a couple of cross sections and tie them on, lash them on, cut this one down, lash it on as well, and yeah, I can sit back and chill out against this now. So I thought for the first Nessmuk knife test, we're batting through this piece of wood. It's a piece of spruce, it shouldn't be too big of a deal for it. And then I'll use these as back supports, if they split in the way I hope they will. Yeah, edge still looks good, can't see any rowing, any flat spots. Not too shabby. And 2 back pieces. So that's the first backrest lashed on. I'm just going to cut this excess off here. So I'm just using a Nessmuk for a bit of chest lever here. I need to remove some of this material. It cuts right in, like it really bites in deep and takes big chunks off. It's a nice grind. I'm taking this material off because the way that would split, it's split with a twist. So when I'm trying to sit it flush against the legs of the back support, it's kind of sitting lopsided. So I need to remove material in certain positions to try and get it all to sit flush. But yeah, she just eats right into it. I think that'll do it. It's probably as good as I'm going to get it, otherwise I'm going to take too much material away and then it's going to be really thin and probably just snap on me. Right, so I'll cut notch in there with the silky and a notch in there to seat the cordage in, like I did on this top one. So yeah, for notching, I've done it on the other side, but basically just cut a sliver of the material away. And you'll be left with this notch. So basically that's 3 sort of slivers cut away out of that, and it's probably about 1/4 of an inch thick. So now putting the second lashing on this one, the one to really hold it and keep it in place. And then just tie it off from the excess of the first one. Again, overhand knot, and that should be that. Just cut the excess off. Well, that's it folks, chair is done. Happy, happy, happy. Can lean back and chill out now. I mean, originally I had it there, so like that back support leg was butted into the bottom of the tree roots there of this fallen tree. But because the chair came so far forward, when I sit on it, my legs like hang out the side of the tap, which if it's raining, my legs are going to get wet. And this is really, the way the trees are positioned around here, this is really the best way to have the tap to get the most coverage. So I've moved it so it basically straddles this log at the bit where I would usually sit, to be honest, and then that back support that goes down, I've put a peg in at the back of it so that it can't like slip out from behind. Yeah, happy now. I think I'll have a play about with the Nessmuk. I want to try a bit of feather sticking. I think it'll do quite well with the amount of material it was removing off these back support bits. I think it'll do well. Otherwise it'll bite too much, that it'll be difficult to get control of it, and I'll need to practice a bit. But we'll see. So yeah, I held up well to that little bit of work that I put it through. I can't see any rolls on the edge, no light reflecting back at me, so yeah, spot on I think. but I'm absolutely ecstatic that they sent it me. It's really cool to work with something that was designed by a guy back in the 1800s, especially someone who's quite a really famous woodsman, if you like. Yeah. So my next trip out I'll be cooking a bit of food, so this will be getting used for a bit of food prep and whatnot. I'm not going to sharpen it, I'm just going to strop it after each time I use it. See how well it holds up the edge before it actually needs to be put on a stone. Yeah, it's really nice and comfortable. When I was doing the feather sticking, I didn't feel any hot spots, which I wasn't expecting to anyway. I mean, I use, like I said, the handle on this is the same as the handle to the Enzo Trapper, so I never get any issues with that either. So yeah, it kind of fits my hand perfectly. Like I was saying before, you do want to chop with it. It's got that, it's not heavy blade, but because of the thicker width to the front of the blade, it's got that little bit of weight. So I think it would do, you know, pretty well, you know, trimming small branches off a bigger branch that you want to use for whatever. But yeah, like I said, on their website they stipulate if you want to chop this, put a secondary bevel on it. So yeah, I think I'll just sit here in the woods admiring my new Nessmuk knife and peace and quiet. Before I end the video, I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time today to watch. I really appreciate you doing so. And also just a reminder that I'm not far off the 2,000 subscriber milestone, and I've got a really cool prize for the giveaway planned in that. So yeah, if you're not already a subscriber, if you could subscribe, give the video a thumbs up and share it. Again, I'd really appreciate that as well. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.